everyone. I hope you're all doing well with training your dogs. I'm excited to do this second video. We're going to be working on our second control command today, and that is going to be the stay. We're also going to be working on our area stay. But first of all, let's get started with some of the materials, some of the things that you'll need for our training session today. Of course, we talked about this last time. You're going to need to have your dog on a collar. It can be a training collar since we are going to be actively training this morning. I have a martingale here. The martingale collar is a collar that this one happens to be a nylon around the outside, and it opens and closes. I like this collar a lot because of the chain here. The chain actually makes sound as it opens and closes, and I think that aids the dog a little bit better. You can find these a lot of times in the stores, and they will have a cloth piece here. But I actually kind of like the chain part of it a little bit better. But every dog's a little bit different. So I've got my training collar, I've got my leash, and I've got my rewards here. I've got my pouch. Again, I am using kibble, and my higher value reward today is actually going to be, I don't know if you can see this, animal crackers, not animal crackers, what are these called? Goldfish. So, and you can see Leo is right up here at my side looking at the goldfish, so I've got him on the table right here. So I'm going to put my treats in my pocket here. Another reward that you might want to get is a toy. I like it something that squeaks. You're going to need a rug or a mat today because we're going to start teaching or start getting them used to doing an area stay. I want you to set up for success. So I want you to find a training spot that doesn't have a lot of distractions to start with. What are distractions? Distractions are food, people, toys, sounds, smells. You need to find an area where your dog can focus on you and the command that you're trying to teach. As we progress in teaching the stay and the area stay, we are going to increase our distractions. But as we begin to train, we're going to really try to limit them so that they can be successful as the distractions increase. So, first thing we're going to do today is we are going to put my dog on his collar here, and then I'm going to show you the stay. Stay means do not move. It means don't move your feet. You can move your head, you can move your tail, but do not move your feet. Last video that I shared with you, we were teaching the stay, and the stay meant, we were teaching the sit. The sit meant sit until I tell you to do something else. So we were kind of leading up to the stay, but now we're going to put a word to it and a signal. We're going to teach do not move. Now this is a really formal command, and that's why we're going to teach the area stay in just a little bit too, because it's a little bit less formal and I think easier for the dogs actually. But stay is taught like this. I'm going to take Leo over here. I hope you can see me. We've got Odie as a distraction here. So, my dog, can you see him? Please, let's go over here. Maybe right about there. Okay, so I hope you can see. I hope the camera is positioned correctly. First thing I'm going to do is Leo, sit. Sit command, stepping into the dog just a little bit with a forward lean and offering that signal. Again, sit means sit until you tell them to do something else. Okay, I'm going to walk him off that spot. Leo, come on. Leo, sit. Now I'm going to offer the stay command. It is a full hand signal. I use my full hand. A lot of trainers or novice trainers will take their finger and say, stay, stay. My mother always told me it's not polite to point. So we're going to use a full hand signal, and we're going to pivot just a few, maybe not even a foot from the dog as we do this. So it's going to be like this. Stay. I'm going to pivot in front. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Chin touch, release. Okay. And walk him off that spot. Now, Leo, sit. You'll notice that my hand is above his head here. The leash is tight. If he goes to lean forward to get up off of his stay, I am going to be able to reposition him by using this leash, okay? This also kind of gives him a little clue because this is taught to stay in position. So I'm going to start here again. Leo, sit. Leo, stay. Pivot in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pivot back to his side. Oh, and he got up. So I'm going to physically position him back into that stay. I'm going to step out again. I'm glad he made that mistake. Pivot back to the side. And chin touch release. Okay, and walk him off that spot. Okay, I'm going to increase in time and distance. So you saw that I counted to 3 to 5 seconds to start with. Leo, sit. Standing at his side. Stay. Pivot in front, and I might get a little further up. Now, my hand signal is still here. I'm going to wait till I can get to about 15 seconds before I drop my hand signal to the side. And I can stand here comfortably. Back to the side. Now, did you see him start to move to get up? I think he's a little shy of my feet, which he needs to develop some trust in me that I'm not going to step on him. Okay. And walk him off that spot. The stay is all about trust. So I'll probably say that a few times today. The dog trusts that he is going to be okay in the position that you told him to be in. So there's a lot of trust and connection that happens with training, but the stay in particular is one that is a big one. Whether it's a sit stay, a down stay, or a stand stay. And we'll be working on the down next time. So we begin close, offer that full hand signal. We didn't talk about rewarding the dog for being stand. As you start to increase in time and distance, you're going to want to reward your dog for staying in position. So I'm going to take my treats, and I did not reward. This is a command that Leo knows, albeit I don't know how well. Okay. So if I'm going to reward my dog for this stay, Leo, sit. Leo, stay. I'm going to step out. And again, I can drop my hand because he should know it. Now, if I'm going to reward on the stay, I'm using a low value treat because if I use high value right now, he's going to come running right over to me. But he's going to be rewarded on the stay. So I'm going to simply move in and reward here. might start to walk around. Step back out. I always go back to the dog to release from the stay. Okay, if you release from a distance without that chin touch release, I think the dog is more apt to start breaking the stay, start leaving position, because they might think that you're going to call them. So I always come back to the dog to release. Stay. When I say the word stay, I'm using a long, drawn-out word. I can reward, and I might even pull on that leash a little bit. They shouldn't break even though you're pulling a little bit on that leash if they're really understanding the command. Okay, there you go. Big thing, don't reward after you've released your dog from position. The reward comes from staying in place. Don't say, okay, here's your treat, because they're going to break to get the reward quicker the next time. Area stay. I hope I covered everything. If not, you guys can ask questions, but area stay is less formal. The area stay is a command that you develop. You can use any words that you'd like, and you teach your dog to stay on a spot. Okay, I have over here a dog bed. I have a rug, just a blanket, and I'm going to put this out here. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. Come on, oh, good boy. And I'm going to call the surface, the area that I want my dog to go to, something. I tend to use the word rug. So I'll say whether it's a bed or a car floor mat or a jacket or, an actual little rug, I'll call it a rug. So my command for my area stay is go to your rug. You could use go to your bed, go to your spot, you can use whatever you'd like for your command, but you need to stay really, really consistent. So I teach this on leash. It's a fun command, and rewards happen on the spot, never from being released from the spot. My release word is okay with a touch under the chin, just like I've used for almost everything else. That means he can get up and do anything he wants to do. I'm going to guide my dog onto my spot, and the rule is, for my dog, do not leave your spot, okay? If he leaves his spot, I direct him back onto the spot. Again, this is fun. He can sit, he can stand, he can roll over, he can chew a toy, he can do whatever he wants on the surface as long as he doesn't leave his spot. That's why it's a lot more relaxed. Now, a lot of people, when they teach this, are really tempted to use the word stay. Stay on your mat, stay. We've already trained the stay, and the stay means don't move. Area stay is not formal. Area stay just means go to your spot and don't leave the surface. Do whatever you want. Okay, so it's a lot less formal. So if I send Leo to his spot and he's standing, so be it. That's his choice. Okay, are you ready to do some area stays, Lee? I'm going to use some a little bit higher value. I'll get my goldfish here. Okay, ready? And I'll use the rug that's over here. Odie's my distraction. Leo, go to your spot. Go to your rug. Oh, it's slippery. Good boy. Now, I drop the lead. I can hang on, offer a treat on the spot, and I wait. Time and distance. And I take them. Okay. And release. What a good dog. Ready? Leo, go to your rug. And it's slippery again. Time and distance. As I get better and better at this, I might drop my lead, might, wander around a little bit. Oh, got off. Oh, go to your rug. I take him right back to the spot. Now, if he breaks 2 or 3 times without, in a row, I'll know that I need to get closer and a shorter distance. So that was 2 breaks. I don't want him to make that mistake again. So I'm going to stay closer now. And reward him for being on his surface. Now, this is a perfect exercise to do as you're eating dinner. Everybody loves a dog that will go lay on their mat when it's dinner time, no begging at the table. Okay, good job. Okay, I have a smaller bed here. Maybe it won't be as slippery. Leo, go to your rug. It's hard to see that one. Good boy. Okay. So again, increasing in time and distance. Leo, go to your rug. Now eventually, I'm going to want to add distractions as he gets better and better at this. Not only am I going to add time and distance, but I'm going to add a distraction. Tossing a toy. Okay, good boy. It might be somebody knocking on the door as your distraction. It might be somebody walking by with food in their hand as a distraction. But you're going to use, again, that surface as their spot. You can give them a toy or a chewy on their spot. That is a wonderful reward that sometimes gets them out of the but kind of takes their mind off of breaking the command. They want to stay on the surface and chew or play with their toy. If you're going to use a toy, make sure it doesn't roll off the mat, because that's not fair. It's got to be something that they can play with and that it stays on the mat. I like chewies, something for them to chew on. So, alrighty. I have my notes here. A couple more things. Remember that you are in charge of your training. As you are training, your dog is developing trust, and you have to make sure that nothing bad happens while they're on that surface. So if you have children, if you have other pets, at no time can anybody approach that dog on their surface. You kind of enter into a pact with your dog, and the pact is, I am going to protect you and make sure that nothing bad happens to you while I am teaching you these behaviors. So, help your dog with those trust issues. Don't let anybody go approach them. It's too tempting for them to get up off of their surface otherwise. So I hope I covered everything. If I didn't, I will try to answer your questions when we meet online next week. Take care. Happy training.